Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Art Whisperer 88. On your screen is another ghost image from the previous video, and it's a little more complex, and I thought I had better make good use of it because it has a nice combination of red and blue and some purple. So the first thing I'm going to do is add some black lines with my true red marker. Okay, then some horizontal lines. Now this is in contrast to my usual curved black lines. I'm gonna add some scribbles. Instead of using my stick, I'm gonna use my marker to make scribbles. Okay. The effect will be a little different from the usual white paper that you see when the paint gets removed. This one will be the opposite. It will be a black marker on the ink. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and ink this with unbleached titanium, and I think this will make a nice contrast. Just making sure it's not too squeaky. And I'm making sure that it's a thin, even coat of paint. I have to keep reminding myself that when there's too much paint, the transfer is not so good. What happens is the paper will pick up the loose, wet paint on the top and leave the drier stuff underneath untouched. So I have to be careful not to put too much. In fact, I may have put too much in this case, but I'll see how it goes. There's no exact amount. It's kind of hit or miss. It also depends on how long I leave the paper on. So let me just make sure the edges are clean. And fresh piece of Somerset paper. And hopefully this will transfer nicely. So as usual, I'm going to leave this for half an hour, and I will be right back. Okay, it's been over half an hour, and let's see what we got. I think we have a very good transfer because I gave it enough time. It's interesting how giving the paper enough time makes a whole lot of difference. Oops. I have to go this way because it's beginning to tear. I think my plate is due for another oil treatment with mineral oil. It helps minimize the extreme stickiness. Yep. I have to change directions because it's tearing pretty bad. But nothing that Collage can't fix. That's a nasty tear right there. But I'm very pleased with the ghost print transfer. It's almost 100%, which is rare. And this is rare too. But it happens, you know. So I will let this air dry for a few minutes and then see what I can do with the collage. But there is a lot of interesting texture, and all of the lines have transferred. Here's a close-up. I'm sorry, this is a long shot. Here's a close-up of the textures. And here's a close-up of the tear. Fortunately, it's a surface tear. That's the good thing about the Somerset paper. It's 100% cotton, so it's very forgiving. So I'll be back in a few minutes after I go through my box of scraps of paper, collage paper. So don't go away. Okay, so I went through my box of scraps and I found these leftover stencils. This is copy paper and it has a thin layer of phthalo blue on it, and these are made by a brayer, as you can see from the angular edges here, and this just fits like that, so we'll cover the tear, and this can go like so. And here's a piece of copy paper with angular lines, which I had drawn out on paint software, and that I think will go nicely there. And I think that will do for now. And then I can always touch up this hole here. Or I can scoot this like so. Okay. So what I need to do, since these are all folded up, I'm going to moisten them with glue on the back. That will soften it. In fact, I'll do this now. Just to introduce some moisture so the paper will unfold, be a little more flexible. Okay. So here's my Mod Podge, which is almost gone. I'm going to place a very thin layer like so. Now that this is wet, it is a little more pliable, and I can mount this easily. So the good thing about copy paper is it's thin enough that once it gets wet with glue, it softens up and it's easy to mount. At least it's easier than cardstock. Okay. Just ironing out the bubbles and wrinkles. Okay, that's number one. Now this one doesn't need to be wet too much. Unfortunately, I don't need to reshape the stencil too much because I think the shape is interesting enough. Okay. And then lastly is this copy paper piece, which is really a modified X or a Z. And you may notice this is a recurring theme in a lot of my work. Okay, and I think that this piece is busy enough that I don't think I have to put anything else. Here's a close-up. You can see the texture of the ghost print. So all the red paint that you see and all the little marks, those are all ghost prints. They're leftovers. But I think they do make an interesting image. Again, want to thank you for your subscriptions and thank you for supporting my channel. And I am very happy to be approaching my goal of 1,000 subscribers, considering I started from nothing. And thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up, and I hope to see you next time.